Hello lovelies, welcome back to the channel. I'm Stephanie with Chubby Girl in the World, and this is my 2019 low buy update. So if you are not new to my channel, you know that in December I was starting a low buy kind of series where I was supposed to be checking in every single month from December this until all of this year, and that I had set like a budget for myself for makeup and clothing purchases, and why I was doing that, and just feeling very guilty about not like kind of being a financial problem in my partnership and with my husband, and feeling just kind of out of control with spending like so many of us do. So I think I've made like two updates. I think I had one in January and February, but I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and check. But after that, I just kind of like fell off and didn't post anything because I just completely fell off the wagon. And the funny thing is that I kind of like shifted most of my buying habits from clothing to makeup, and it was it it was difficult because I've justified some purchases to myself in a terrible way. So there were some things that I purchased that I was like, oh, well, I'm going to review it for my channel. It's like, well, but my channel's not like a makeup channel. Like I do talk about makeup and do get ready with me's, and, I usually use that time to talk about chatty stuff, and I do like talking about makeup, but that's not really the focus of the channel. It's just like kind of an extra thing that I like doing. And I think I think that like a lot of my focus has like I watch way more beauty YouTube than I do fashion YouTube. Um, just because I don't I feel like makeup is a thing. I feel like there's two reasons. I feel like makeup is something that doesn't have a size, and so I can feel free to buy literally whatever I want, and I don't have to think about, is it going to fit me? Is it going to be the right size? I only have to think about the product, and is the product going to perform well and work for me? And I think that is sort of a freeing, I think that's sort of like a freeing thing, especially when you're plus size. There's so many restrictions on what you can buy, where you can buy, people telling you what you should and shouldn't wear. I saw this terrible video on Twitter where this poor girl got like chased into a bathroom by somebody from her church telling her that like big girls shouldn't wear shorts like that. And like she wasn't even wearing like short shorts. She was wearing, like normal shorts on a day where it's hot. And it's just is insanity. And having to deal with that stuff all the time, kind of makeup was kind of like a refuge where I didn't have to really think about it. And it's also very meditative where like, okay, I get up in the morning, like I have this ritual, I go get my coffee, I have this ritual, I put on my makeup, and like I feel better that day, even if my outfit isn't like pristine, even if it's not. And right now I've felt like so much like I haven't posted outfits of the day either because I just feel, I don't know, I feel like a fraud most of the time because I wear jeans and a t-shirt and to work because my job's pretty casual now, and I don't dress up. I don't in my everyday life. Um, I feel like my fashion self is my fantasy self, and I think I just like really was kind of hiding the fact that like I was buying, more makeup than I should have been buying. Not like crazy amounts, but like going over budget and being like, well, I'm just gonna justify it this one time. I'm just gonna put in a ColourPop order this one time, and then, I won't buy anything next month. But then next month comes and then you totally do. And then also, I wasn't supposed to be purchasing any food outside of the house. That rule just went out the window pretty much the same week. We've definitely gotten it down. We don't eat out as much, but we definitely do. We definitely have, especially when it's hot. Like, if it's hot, we do not want to cook. I don't want to cook. And so we've had a little bit more success with like we became Costco members, and so just going and getting like a salad from Costco or whatever. They have a really good vegan salads, by the way. And it's just kind of being real and making sure that I'm not telling myself that you're doing great, sweetie, when like I'm not. I haven't been able to like save up pretty much for any of the things I wanted, because we had a couple of emergencies like with our car, and I had to shell out like close to $1,500 to repair it. And I just had like a check engine light come on a few days ago, and like that's gonna cost another couple $100. And it's it feels relentless. It feels just absolutely relentless most of the time. And the job I have now, like I'm a contractor and my contract's up in September, and I don't know what's going to happen after that. I don't know. And I think that's one of the things I hate the most, is like not knowing. And the way that I self-soothe that is by like looking at makeup or like browsing makeup. And then of course, the more you do that, the more likely you are to buy. And now I'm just trying to find a way back to, okay, well, I had all these, I won't say we, but like, because my husband's like super disciplined when it comes to finances and things like that, but he will literally do anything I ask him to do. And so I have to take the responsibility and just be like, we can't keep, not saving for retirement. We can't keep, not saving for a house. And we're going to need a new car sooner rather than later. And, I shouldn't be putting our financial future in jeopardy. Like, you definitely shouldn't do that. So don't do what I do. Do what I say, don't do what I do. But it is difficult. It's difficult because you feel in the moment when you purchase that like concealer or that glitter or whatever. There's somebody like outside the window like doing something in their car. I don't know what they're doing. And you just feel like, well, I'm just gonna get this little pick me up. And even if it's like, I don't know, I don't buy Wet and Wild anymore, but like I would buy a Wet and Wild lipstick and be like $2.99, or I would buy a new setting spray like from Essence. It was like $1.99, and or something from Elf. It's $3, $6, whatever it is, and you would just feel like you'd feel a little bit better. But it's the same thing when I was using food to self-soothe, and I still do that like sometimes, but it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. I would just kind of just eat mindlessly, and you're trying to fix something that you can't fix with food. And I was trying to fix something that like you can't fix with concealer or new clothes or any of those things. Like it just has to be about you making sure that you're okay, and like really thinking about what makes you happy, and thinking about what is really going to make your autobiography the best it can be when you sit down at like 89 years old to write it. First of all, make sure you save enough for retirement so that you can like live in a nice home. And then third, like what story are you going to write? And I think that is one of the biggest things for me, is like, what is my life going to amount to? What is my life going to be if I don't make a course correction right now and do it? And this is why I've been putting off making this video, because it's so soul bearing, and it's so like, hey, I've screwed up, and I've been screwing up for months and months and months now. And I didn't do any of the things that I said I was going to do. I had great intentions and didn't follow through on any of them. And this is where I think I need to take. I'm really the kind of like all or nothing person. Like, I need to go cold turkey. Like, when I went vegan overnight. Like, did not, like, I just made a decision. I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. And same thing now. It's like, I need to make the decision, and I don't, like, I need to make the decision today to just be like, look, you need to take a long, hard look at your finances, figure out what you're going to do, and then be realistic about it, and realistic about what, the future is going to hold, as far as, job opportunities, as far as, what job opportunities I can reasonably expect, and what things I'll have to go forward, because come August, my student loans are going to come due, and it's going to be a huge chunk out of our budget, and it's super scary. It's super scary, especially because I don't have any great like leads on what I'd like to do. I would love to work in like economic development or work in like economic research, but I don't have a master's degree, and so that's going to take a little bit of time, and it's going to take a little bit of like finessing. And I always say to people who ask my advice, and it was the best advice I've ever been given, was, it's great to have a passion, it's great to have goals, but make yourself financially secure first, and then once you've secured yourself, and once you're okay, then you can focus on your passion and focus on how you can help others. Like, your job doesn't have to be your passion. Your job can just be a means to an end. And it's like, yes, you spend a lot of your time doing your job, but at the same time, if you pick something that's lucrative and, isn't, I'm not saying you should have like a soul crushing job, but maybe your job's a little bit boring, but pays really, really well. And then you can pursue music in your, downtime, because you have a passion for music, or you have a passion for helping other people, but just make yourself okay first, like secure yourself first, like anchor yourself first, and then help somebody else with their rope. If you've ever like rock climbed, then that you want to do that first. So yeah, I am just making the decision today. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to sit down and look at all of the different things that I need to take care of, which there are a lot of, and see how I'm going to do that, and how I'm going to do that in a way that doesn't make me feel like I'm punishing myself, and doesn't make me feel, but also is effective. And maybe it's time for me to feel a little bit of that pain and that twinge, because I don't think you can really get through life without being, I don't think you can get through life in a good way without, sometimes having to feel a little bit of the pinch, and feel a little bit of the pressure on you. And, diamonds are made from pressure. So yeah, guys, that's my low buy update. It has been an epic fail so far. So let me know how your low buy or no buy is going. I would love to hear from you. And if you've got things that have worked for you, if you've got self-soothing behaviors that have nothing to do with like buying, have nothing to do, with like shopping or anything like that, let me know, so that we can all help each other. Thanks so much, Lovlies. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.